All right. Okay. So big welcome, you guys. My name is Denise Walsh, and you are on this either live or recording because you won a lead generation and rock star follow-up training back in like December when we were getting ready for a conference. And as you know, we were traveling a bit. I think I was gone for like almost 3 weeks, like not the whole week, but like the whole like Wednesday through Sunday. I don't know. It was crazy. And then we got sick with winter, and now it's April. So you know how that goes, but we're really excited to connect with you today. And Brandon's been doing a lot of learning on the back end. So we've got some really cool things to show you. So a few things to know is Brandon's going to share his screen. He's going to do some stuff, and then I'm going to close it up with, once you generate leads, how do you truly build rapport and close the deal? Because it's one thing to have a lead. It's another thing to have a lead that's quality. We all know that. And it's a third thing to close the deal. So we're going to talk about kind of our funnel tips and tricks we've learned over the past 11 years. And then we certainly will have some space for Q&A as well. So if you have any questions, I guess just depending on how, I'd say write them in the chat, and then we'll just take some breaks to answer them. And if the group is small enough, we can unmute people as we need to. So let me make Brandon a host. Make host. Brandon is a host. And so now he can take over. So let me introduce him because I don't get a chance to do this very often. So I now would like to introduce the brains behind the Walsh team. He's a digital marketer who's really learned everything from Google to Instagram to Facebook to, I mean, all these words I don't understand. And honestly, I know that without his brains and wisdom, we certainly wouldn't be the package we are today. So without further ado, please welcome Brandon Walsh. Yay!
Thanks, hon. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, you're good.
All right, let me see if I can share my screen here.
Oh, look at Owen. He's so cute.
Okay, can you guys see that? Can you see that, hon?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. So, let me see here. So you guys, I'm sure you guys know, over the past like 5 years, we've been using Facebook almost primarily to build our business. So we run Facebook ads. Denise follows up with those leads that come from the Facebook ads, and that's how we build our business. You know, there's a lot of value, and I think that a lot of people build their business using messaging and using their warm market. But for us, we've always thought if we can run ads and we can get people coming to us, and we can just follow up with them, then that would be the easiest way for us to build our business. So that's what we've done. So today I'm going to show you, see if we can get this working, how to do what we call, it's kind of like a local mom ad. So we call it our foolproof mom ad because it works pretty much in any market. You can do it for any city, no matter how big it is, and you're going to get responses. And we believe that you can get them for like less than $1 a day. You can get a lead for less than $1 a day if you're on these. So anyway, I will show you this. So the first thing is you want to set up a fan page. If you don't know what a fan page is, it's basically a way for you to advertise your business on Facebook. To get it started, you're going to go here to your Facebook menu. You're going to go to create a page. Right here, it's going to take you to this page. What you're going to want to pick is artist, band, or public figure. And when you do that, it's going to give you a couple more options than you would normally get if you do some of these other things. Some stuff we've realized lately is that you can do more with Facebook Lives and broadcasting and stuff like that, but it's not too much to worry about. So you're just going to choose entrepreneur, put your name in, and we'll just do Brandon for now. No, it's not going to let me do that right now. Let's say Brandon M. Walsh. Okay. So for your profile picture, I would recommend just putting in like whatever your funnest, most friendly. Okay, can you see this okay, Denise?
Yep, I see.
It's giving me error
Profile pic.
messages. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So you're going to want to pick whatever's your most friendly, relatable headshot, something like that, so that when you do something on your business fan page, your profile picture wants to sync, you want it to sync up with what your personal page has. So that way when people look at it and you're doing follow up, they know who it is and they know, you know, why you're talking to them, that kind of thing. So you're just going to put upload a profile picture here. We're going to skip that for now. And I might go a little fast, but the idea is to give you an idea of how this whole thing works so that you can go back and perfect it as you go on. But this is just to give you an overview and get you used to the whole process. So the cover photo doesn't matter all too much, but I would again say something that relates to your family or your friends or something about your brand that you want to relay. So if you're, you know, for Denise and I, it's like we want to be relatable, have a family type profile picture. So we do that for a cover photo. If you have a, I don't know, you have a different kind of business that you're also promoting, then you would put that there too. So it's no big deal though. And once you do that, you have your fan page set up. So I would never recommend that. A lot of people will pay for likes for their Facebook page just to get their fan base up. Don't do that, because once we start running these kinds of ads, then you'll get those naturally. So don't worry about that right off the bat either. Okay. So once you have this set up, then you're going to go into Manage Ads. And you won't have this particular display. This is only because we have like 20 different ad accounts. So, okay, so this is basically your whole advertising interface here. You have campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So a campaign is, I'll just show you here. Say create. So a campaign is where you're going to choose what your objective is. So for these particular ads that I'm going to show you, our objective is to get engagement. So you don't need to worry about all this other stuff, because some of this has to do with retail and e-commerce or getting app installs. We just want to say engagement. And this is, let's see. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to share the screen at the same time. Okay, so engagement basically means that we're going to pay Facebook to try to find people who are more likely to engage with the post that we just posted. So we are going to post on our fan page, and we're going to tell people that we're looking for, we're going to post and say that we're looking for people who are wanting to work from home, who want to make extra money, and we are going to then advertise that, and Facebook's going to find the people who are most likely to respond to that ad. So we're going to say engagement. The campaign name doesn't really matter. So this is just for our own personal private use. So we're going to say like, let's say local mom ad. Denise, if I'm going too fast or there's something that's confusing, just tell me.
Okay. You guys can certainly ask in the questions too.
Yeah, I can't really see those with the screen
I
sharing.
can. I'll
Okay, so you let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I have the computer with 2 screens. That's why he's can't see it.
Okay, so the ad set name again is private to you. So when you choose an ad set name, it's generally just to describe who you're advertising to. So you might do an ad that has, say for instance, we're in Grand Rapids and we have a bunch of different local towns. I might do one ad that's to Caledonia, one that's to Grand Rapids, that kind of thing. And this is just for me to keep track of it. So let's just say it's Caledonia, and I want to advertise to 25 to 42-year-olds. So before I get too far in this, I did do some of this a few months ago, and it's on denisewalsh.com/blog/Facebook recruiting. So there's how to create a fan page, and some of this is a little outdated because it's a few months ago, but it's all basically some of the same principles. So here's the mom ad. So some of the stuff that I'm doing, you can check back there if I skipped a step or
I do think
there's something was confusing.
Password protected. Do you remember what the password is?
Yeah, it's emeralds. So the password is emeralds with an S. Okay. So when you run these ads, whatever your picture is, so say for instance, you're 35 years old, your target audience should be plus or plus or minus 5 years of whatever your age is a good starting point. So this says 25 to 42, so we're 36. So let's say 31 to 41, whatever that is, because most people just relate to what they see. So that's a good starting point. The reason these ads work so well is because they're so targeted to the demographic that's around them. So we have, so we're targeting moms specifically in this type of ad. We're targeting people who are in our home location so they can relate to us. We know who they are. We have something in common right away when we follow up. And so we're going to start with, I'll show you. Let's say Grand Rapids.
Well, and while he's doing this, I think the one thing to remember is that the reason why niches work so well is because you can't market to everybody at the same time. You know, I mean, if we think, who's our target market for It Works? Like everyone, men, women, ages 18 to 80. We've got something for everyone. But when you're doing like an ad, you want them to think, oh, that's me. I need that. And so you want to target specific. So we've done this for teachers. Hey, teachers, we're looking for you. We've done this for moms, nurses, hairstylists in different cities. When there's a one team, one mission or a boot camp, we'll target the city weeks before and then get them to come to the event. So there's a lot of things that you can do. But the reason why you're targeting it is because that makes the audience members say, oh my gosh, that's so me. And that's what you're really looking for them to feel when they see your ad.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should have showed you guys this. Let me show you something real quick. Okay, so this is what the actual ad text says. It says, attention, calling all moms in hometown. So right away, we're calling out, we're saying, okay, if you're a mom in this city, which if you see that on Facebook, that's pretty rare that you would see that right in your news feed, right? So immediately it's going to grab your attention. And this is stuff to keep in mind for any time you write any kind of ad, any kind of post. You want to call out to people who are looking at your ads. You want to get their attention, right? And so this is kind of the hook. Like, what if you could start working from your phone? You could do it from home and you could make a new income, right? So that sparks everyone's attention. And then you get people imagining how that would feel, right? So you tell them straight up, imagine how that would feel. And you can do it, and here's the objection that they're already thinking, well, I would love to do that, but then I wouldn't have time for my family, I wouldn't have time to do all these other things. So you're overcoming that objection right here. And then after that, we're saying, okay, now we have credibility. So then you take whatever credibility you have, even if it's, you don't have to say that for the past 10 years you've been making millions. You can say for the past 2 weeks, I've been able to pay for my groceries, or whatever it is, or my friend has. You don't have to have you don't have to have anything amazing. It's actually more, I think, relatable if you don't have.
People don't call me and say, can you help me be a millionaire?
In fact, it's sometimes a deterrent, I think.
It is, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, and then you say, how can you help? So now you've built this stuff up. Now you say, how can you fulfill on the promise you just made? I'm going to help you. What would you do step by step? I can tell you exactly how to build your own successful business from your phone. If you're interested, then we give them a call to action. We tell them exactly what to do. If you don't tell them what to do, they will read the ad and they'll go away. So you have to tell them exactly what to do and what you'll do afterwards. So we say, comment yes, and then we'll send you a message right away. And then in the PS, which is the most read part of the post, so always add a PS. It's kind of marketing, like, I don't know. It almost seems spammy a little bit, but people read this more than any other part of the message. So we always say, like, some urgency here. Like, we only can work with 5 people in this hometown. You don't need experience, another objection that they would have. But now we add a little urgency and exclusivity to it. You have to be fun. You have to be positive. You have to work 5 hours a week. So then it kind of weeds out the tire kickers and people who, wouldn't really work in the first place. So I'm glad you pointed that out, Denise. So if they didn't see that first,
Well, I've been learning a lot about copywriting over the past little bit, which means I've been reading some books. And it's funny because I didn't really know that he was doing it on purpose. But when you look at what Brandon's doing, it's copywriting 101. You know, we've talked about benefit, benefit, benefit. What is it in it for them? It's not saying, I'm a millionaire and I can teach you. It's like, no. Let me cast a vision for you and get their mind going. And then I can share the credibility that I have that's going to help them. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a training where we talked about how to tell your story so people will listen. And we talked a lot about how we want to have a benefit. And anyway, so now every time I read Brandon's stuff, I'm like, now I know what he's doing. It's all so smart. So I want you guys to see the strategy behind it, because once you get the strategy, it's something that you can do too.
Okay, so not only is it important that you are calling out those specifics so that people interact, but Facebook is programmed so that, for instance, say you had 10% of the people interact with your ad. Facebook might charge you 10 cents per interaction. But if you only had 1% of the people interact with your ad, it might not show it at all, and it would probably cost you $1 per interaction. So the more effective and dialed in your ad is, the cheaper it is to advertise. So if you do this correctly, you can advertise for $1 a day. You'll get tons of interactions, you'll get comments, and it'll work for you. If you don't do it this way, and you just run an ad and it's set up for anyone, you just boost it like people do, they just boost it from their fan page, it's not going to work, and it's not going to be effective whatsoever. So with that being said, now that you see how it works, we're going to choose, okay, so if you live in a huge city, like if you live in Chicago, you're not going to say plus 25 miles. You're going to say within 10 miles, or you're going to choose a suburb or something like that. You want this number over here to be like 100,000 people. You don't want it to be 5,000 people, because you would exhaust that within a day or two. But you don't want it to be 1 million people, because that would, because then you could be showing it for a long time and it's not dialed in enough. It's not going to be targeted enough. And so let me show you this for a second. Okay, so we're going to change this to women. We're going to change it to, I forget exactly what we said, but 31 to, or whatever, doesn't matter too much. 32 to 42 gets us 60,000 people. That's about perfect. And we're Grand Rapids, isn't a huge city, plus or minus 10 miles. And we can add, okay, so let me show you some of these demographics. So if you say, okay, I know, for instance, one is called new moms. Now, if you look over at the description here, it says people whose activities strongly suggest they are new moms. So this is a great demographic. You could run this all across the US and just say new moms. It's going to cut down our audience size. See, this is only 6,000 people now. That's kind of small. If you were to run that, you would exhaust that audience probably even at just a few dollars a day within like a week. So that might be a little much to cut it down, but let me show you this. If you say browse, you can go into demographics, and there's so much you guys can do with this. You can go to, there's life events, there's anniversaries, birthdays. You can say, hey, a little birdie told me that your birthday's coming up. Would you like a free sample of, keto coffee? Or, I mean, there's so much stuff you can do if you be creative here, and it doesn't cost much at all. I mean, we're talking dollars, but let's see here, demographics. So you can say parents, you can say moms. So there's all these different kinds of moms. So you can say, you could have an ad that said, attention, all, moms of grade school kids. You could say that, or you could say soccer moms or trendy moms, whatever it is, and you can grab this whole category here. Whoop. Let's see, all parents. Oh, here we go. New parents. All parents. Anyway, you get the idea. So that's 26,000 people.
So you would just tailor you would add more demographics, like specific demographics, but you still want your numbers to be pretty good. So could you just add more to make the numbers higher?
Yeah, you can. Ideally, well, here's the thing. It depends on what your budget is. So I would say, as a rule of thumb, if you had, I like to shoot for like 100,000 people. And if I have 100,000 people, I know that I can advertise for like $30 a day for probably like a month. So that's a lot higher than I think someone who might be doing this would be. So maybe, gosh, I don't know. But yeah, the idea is you can start real low and you can start your budget real low. And if you want to add in more people, because I'll show you how the advertising frequency works at the end. But yeah, you're right. That's what you would do. You would just add in more people if you want to hit it. If you want your audience a little bigger. Let's see. Okay. Does that make sense, hon?
Yeah.
Should I go over that a little more?
Well, I think as long as we know that we would still want to keep it niche, so you're not going to market to a new mom and a over what I don't know, like something on the other spectrum, like retiree, I guess.
Well, see, the thing
you could
is,
do like new mom and trendy mom and a couple of things like that.
Okay, so the thing is like we're already saying Grand Rapids, right? Mm-hmm. And we're already like 40 years old women. You would actually, I kind of skipped this.
That's why there's not many new moms, because they're all in their 20s.
Right. So, and then we'd say English. So by the time we get to this, and then our ad says calling all moms in Grand Rapids, it's like, it's already so targeted, it's going to be cost effective anyway. Okay. So you're still going to get a ton of people.
So this one's niched enough.
Right. So, I mean, you can play with it. You can say 20 to 50, and you can get rid of new moms, and you can say all parents, and then say calling all moms, that kind of thing. So
cool.
So yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so the next step, placements. So it's going to automatically set up these placements, and it says it's recommended. Do not do that. Say edit placements. Because what it's going to try to do is show your ads to everyone on Instagram, the audience network, which is like random stuff. So you want to deselect this stuff. And to start out, just run your ads in the Facebook feed. Get rid of everything else. Instagram can be good, but if you want to run something on Instagram, you want to make sure your image is formatted for Instagram. You want to just run it on Instagram, and these would be all things that you test. So for this, to keep it simple, and if we want to have something that's duplicatable for your team, just keep it at that. We can keep that. That's fine. Ignore it. Okay, your budget. So you'll get the most bang for your buck, and this is the way you want to make it work for you. If you say daily budget, then Facebook's going to try to spend as much as it can to exhaust that daily budget. So you don't really want to do that. What you want to do is set it up for a lifetime budget. So then you can say, I just want to spend, $30, and you set it up for a month or whatever it is, 3 weeks, however much you can afford to spend. You should be getting, for this type of ad, you should be getting comments for less than $1. So you should be getting leads for less than $1 all the time. And if you're not, then there's something wrong. You missed something in the setup, because we've tried this across every market, every city. It works. So
one thing that's kind of cool too is that you can run an ad for 2 weeks and then follow up with those people for 2 weeks and really, really focus and work on them. And then when you're running dry, you can run another ad, get another batch of leads. But you can kind of, I feel like we've done that before, where I'll get a bunch of leads and then I'm like, I can't handle anymore. And so then we really work to work them. And then when I feel like I'm bored, then we run another ad.
Data in the past. Okay, so that's post engagement. This should all be good. Okay, so now is where you either create an ad or use an existing post. So we're going to create an ad just so I can show you it. You can run these ads on Instagram, like I said, at the same time, but I wouldn't recommend it just because Instagram's targeting is not good. But, okay, so for an image, let's see. You really want to use a picture of your face if you can. A picture of your face or you with your family. just something that's relatable and makes people feel like it's a personal picture. Those just have worked the best all the time from what we've tested. So let's see. We'll just grab a picture of Denise here. Okay, so here is where you enter the text of the ad. And so what you can really do is just copy and paste, if you want, the text from that page that I told you about earlier, which is the facebook.com/blog/Facebook recruiting. And whatever said Grand Rapids, you would just edit that. Good to add some emojis if you can, if you have them. I like to go to, what is it, facebookicons.net. This one has them so that you can make sure, because for advertising, they're a little different. So sometimes they don't show up. I like to just grab like some of these, whatever stands out to me when I scroll through these, I feel like is the best. So I just grab like these red circles, blue circles, stuff like that. Paste them in. They grab your attention quite a bit. Now, since we said just comment below, there are a ton of ways to do these ads, and I'm just showing you one way, but we're going to say call to action, no button. Because one of the things that happens if I did say a button here, if I said learn more, it's going to ask for a URL. But not only that, then it looks like an ad. And I think that deters a lot of people. So I just want to keep it like this and say, comment below. So then once you do that, you just press confirm and your ad is live. So that's I guess I would say, the most basic type of ad that works, that's duplicatable for anyone. What will happen is you'll start to get comments on that, and you'll get quite a few, and they might come in random hours of the night. And if you want it to be effective, you want to follow up pretty much immediately. Like, the difference between 1 minute and 10 minutes is huge. Like, they say like 1 minute to 5 minutes, your chance of closing that lead goes down by like 100% almost. So you want to be on top of it. I do have a tool which I will show you, but I will let Denise add some follow-up tips here if you want to.
Deb was asking about your emojis. Where did you get that emoji list?
It was fbicons.net.
Yeah, there it is, FB Icons. And that's just because he's working from his computer and not a phone. So it's way easier to not like.
Yeah, when you guys set this up, you really want to be on a computer. At least when you set it up for the first time. It doesn't matter for follow-up or anything else, but when you set it up for the first time, it's so much easier, and you get so many more options by going to this ad manager.
Now you could do, this is a mom ad, but you could still do a similar one for teachers, for nurses. Is there would you change much in the body of the text?
No, not a ton. I would probably just say it, well, you could do it different if you knew like a nurse's pain points, like they're sick of working, 16 hours a day, that kind of thing. I would add those things in. Imagine how it would feel not to work 16 hours a day, or, that kind of thing. But for the most part, if you call it out in the header, that is the biggest thing.
One thing that I've learned recently too is that it's more important to talk about the struggle than it is to talk about the dream. And I think it's so interesting because I love the dream, but people relate to the struggle. So when you're saying, when we're talking about this, it's what is the niched, who's your target market? What is their struggle? What is the benefit that we can bring them? And then, talk to them in that message. So it's interesting that the nurse's pain points would be different than a teacher's pain points, would be different than the stay-at-home mom who wants a friend and wants, so it is, you want to identify with the struggle, and then you can take them on a journey. But if you just focus on the success, then they're going to be like, good for you, but that's not me. So that's an important piece of it. Let's see. Would you target teachers differently in the summer? I'd be like, you want summer all the time? Do you want this to be your normal life?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. The more specific you can make these ads, the better off you'll be.
Mm-hmm.
This is semi-specific, but you could do so much better. I mean, because you can target by anniversary, birthday, their occupation, if it's summer, and you know those things, like then you can make it really, really effective. So,
is there a target for going on vacation or getting married? Like getting married, you need a body wrap. You're going on vacation, you need a body wrap.
Yep, all that stuff. You can do a lot of stuff. You can do you can say, I'm trying to think of all the ones I remember off the top of my head, but you can say newly engaged. You can do you can even do like friends of people who are having a birthday soon. So all that stuff is, if you remember when I looked through the ad targeting, it's in the demographics. I could probably go back there, but you can find all that stuff. It's all there. So you really can be as creative as you want to be.
So I don't think we've done a sample one for birthdays, have we? Not that I've never sent out samples, but
no, I've thought about it, but no, I haven't.
Good idea. We do focus mostly on finding distributors, but what do we do? Have we done BOGO and wrap stuff through this?
So if it's for products, I generally just do like retargeting ads from like one of our blogs or something, which is kind of complicated, but product wise, the ones that we've had the best success on are the ones that are talking about like product testers, just kind of like you've seen with anyone else, but advertising those, because Facebook doesn't allow before and afters, and you can't talk about weight loss, and you can't talk about any of that stuff. So it's just the best return on investment is just to go after distributors, really.
I know Joel and Steph are doing a few things. They're targeting social influencers. So they're targeting people who already have a social influence. They've got a good number, they've got a following, they've got people who are interested in them. They've got, but that doesn't, like, in my mind, when I'm on YouTube watching my Insta fitness people who are like they're all influencers, but that doesn't mean they have products to sell. And that doesn't mean they're making money. Like, you can have a huge following and not be making any money. And so it's something to think about, who is on Instagram or who is on Facebook that does have a good size friends list and is engaging, because that's just who they are naturally, but yet they don't have something to sell and they're not making money with it. And I also know they're focusing on keto people. So we've done some keto ads as well. And so then, what you say to those keto people is, you're already doing keto, you might as well make money too. And what we've done is we've generated leads focused on keto, and then we put them in our clean keto group where we work to keep them engaged, put recipes, and this was before the fit stuff. So we've kind of created that ourselves, and then signed customers just from having a smaller group, like putting the leads in a group where then we could talk to them. Let's see. Have you found some good verbiage to start the conversation once they respond to the ad? So Brandon has a couple cool things that he does to help me, because I can't do everything all the time amazingly. So he has set up some systems so that makes me look good. But the biggest thing, honestly, is asking questions and having sentences that are two or three sentences long and ending in a question. So when somebody requests information, I'll say something like, "Oh my gosh, awesome. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking for, or how much money you're looking to make, or have you ever done a business like this before?" And I just try to get them talking about what they're looking for and what they need. And then whatever they say, I can say, "Oh my gosh, you would be awesome at this." So
okay, so let me share something real quick.
I was going to say, I can go into my stuff, but I feel like we need to start.
So most marketers right now say that Facebook Messenger is like the killer of email. It's going to be where all e-commerce takes place in the future. It's going to replace websites. I mean, like, people are saying crazy stuff because there's a program called like WeChat, I think it's called, in China, and that's exactly what happened with them. And it's what Facebook was trying to do, and before all this crazy controversy and stuff with privacy and stuff happened with Facebook. But I have a feeling that'll be short-lived. So within the next couple of weeks, this stuff will be open again, which it was in the past. But let me show you what we do with these ads. So with with these ads, when someone comments yes, what we do is we send them an automatic message instantaneously, because what we found, like I said before, is like if you even wait a few minutes, then the conversation's dead. They just lose interest, that kind of thing. So I've used a few different tools. I am going to show you, this is called ManyChat. So ManyChat, there is another one that's easier to use. I think it's called Message Hero, but it's $50 a month. This one is free to start with, and then it's only like $10 or $15, I think, a month. It's a little trickier, but it's not that difficult. So I'm going to show you. This is ManyChat. So once you create an account with ManyChat, you're going to go down.
Is this open on Facebook right now?
It is not open on Facebook right now, but people are saying within a week or two. So I'm going to show you this now because I think it's that important. And this is, not only does this help you respond to comments on your Facebook posts instantly and it's automated, but it also helps you build a list. So you can see here this live chat 963. That is 900 people over the course of the past couple weeks or whatever that have responded to some of Denise's posts. And those people go into her audience and she can message those people at any time. So it's basically just like having 1,000 people who you know are going to see your information whenever you message them.
Now, this is a question I just have for you because I want to know, is this, so instead of having an email list, would you do this instead or would you do both?
So you would do both, but email gets like a 10% open rate. When you use ManyChat through Facebook Messenger, you get like an 80% open rate, and that's on the low end. It's probably more like 90. You can, was that Mylane? Yeah. You can still sign up for ManyChat, but you can't hook it up to a new fan page, but it's going to be very soon, I would imagine, because they're already opening it back up to groups, which is one of the things they banned, and I don't think it'll be too long. So anyway, you can still get this stuff set up, and you can still understand the technology and how to hook all this stuff together. And then, you know, very soon you'll be able to hook it up to a new fan page. So.
And you can't do this on a personal page, right? You can only do this on a fan page?
This is only on a business page, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we could show them some of the stuff with Be Live and stuff. Okay, so once you start up ManyChat, go to Growth Tools. I could show you all this stuff, but Growth Tools is all you need to know. And then you're going to say New Growth Tool. And you're going to say Facebook Comments. And what that does is you're setting up an auto response for anyone that responded on a specific post, like they said, they commented yes, and you're going to set up an auto response, and then it's going to add them to your list. So I'll show you how this works here. Let's select the post. So you would grab whatever post you just posted, whatever ad it was. This cool one Denise did. So this is one of the things you have to say, like if you do this, say, you know, comment yes below and I will follow up with you on Messenger. So you have to say that so they know it's coming. You can send the comment, send the message immediately, or you can change it to, I actually like to do like 60 seconds so it doesn't look quite so automated. Let me see if I missed anything here. Okay. Click next. Next. Okay. So then you say, okay, so this is where the personalization comes in. So when you do Facebook messages, people like it to seem casual and friendly, and it's not like writing an email. So I actually do lowercase on purpose. And I would say, hey, first name, exclamation. I would do a smiley or something. And what's cool about these ads is if you know you're running to Grand Rapids, you can say, just saw your comment. Where in Grand Rapids do you live? So then it's open-ended, and that's all you say. You don't throw up on them. You don't talk about the business. You don't do anything else. It just makes them respond. This person doesn't become a part of your audience where you can follow up with them continuously until they respond. So you want an open-ended question. If they don't respond, then you can't follow up with them in the future. you can see, please note, be careful. So this is kind of some of the stuff that they're carefully watching, but you shouldn't have to worry about it. As long as you're cool about it and you don't just go spamming people, you're fine. So click next. And you want to send this to everyone who replies. And then you can set up sequences, which I won't go into, but you can set up your own sequence here, an automation sequence, and then that sequence could tell them after 1 day, here's a message. After 3 days, here's a message. After 5 days, here's a message. So there's tons of different things you can do, but we'll just save and activate. Oh, that's not what we want. Anyway, so that's all you have to do to get that started. And again, you can do it with Message Hero. You can do it on your own if you want to, and just follow up with every single message that comes through on one of your Facebook posts. But that's really all you need. Looks like Denise took off. Do you guys have questions on here?
I do, Brandon. What's the difference between a fan page and like a business page? Because I have a business page that I have like not once posted on. I just had it because I thought I should.
Hey, Becky. Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing.
So I can do.
Depends on how you created it. Yeah, I mean, I call a fan page a business page, but they're the same thing, really.
So I don't have to create another one to go and do all this stuff you just showed us.
No, you should be able to do it just fine.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Brandon, what was the other autoresponder page? Option you had other than ManyChat?
Oh, Message Hero. So you go msghero.com.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi. I had another question too. Yeah. I think what I had trouble with previously when I've done an ad, and I have not done very many ads because they kind of intimidate me, is responding quickly. I see how the autoresponder would help, but how do you keep up with all the comments coming through and you're not missing them? What's the notification option? Are you notified in your like you are with other comments on your posts?
Yeah, you can just click on it and say, send me notifications in the upper right of the post once it's posted.
Okay.
Just like on a fan page, you can do that. But yeah, we usually just rely on that automated, response and then follow up after that.
Okay. And then that puts them in a list when they respond the second time. Is that what you said?
Yes. As soon as they respond to your first question, it goes on a list. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's more you can do with that, and I could help you with that if you want to.
Okay.
You can send them to a spreadsheet and stuff. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
Brandon, our children are still awake.
Oh no. Yes, we'll send the replay out, and we also, a lot of this stuff is on Denise's blog on that page that I mentioned, which is blog/Facebook-recruiting with that password. So a lot of this stuff is repeating. It's a little different, but it's there.
We did some giveaways to add people to our chat thing because we were just trying to play around with it. And there is a lot of cool stuff, and you can have kind of some auto responders and things set up through that. So again, it's like working smarter, not harder. I don't know what you guys.
Yeah, if you look at this, guys, if you go to Growth Tools, where I was just at, and you say New Growth Tool, and you say Messenger Ref URL, it will give you a URL here. Let's see, set up. So then it gives you this URL. If you put this URL anywhere on your page, if you say, hey guys, if you want to be updated next time I do a giveaway, or you want to get a free keto sampler, or whatever it is, you copy this and you paste it into Facebook. There's just this URL that it just gave you. Then you can set them up to, here, I'll show you.
So I did a live, and we put that in the thing, and I said, opt in to be subscribed to the Mylene, is that how you say it? I always feel like I'm saying your name wrong. Mylene. We don't ever talk to newbies about this ever. Like, this is why you guys get a advanced training. I've never once taught anybody this. So maybe we should talk about it more, but it is such a big learning curve. It can be learned, but it is such a big learning curve that we're like, talk to your mom first, right? But you're already doing it. So I'd be interested in when you learned it and what you were like, if you think it's something that more people need to know about. I know Barbara Bozer does it too. Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, so what I was going to say is, so once you set up that URL, this would be the message that they get automatically. You can just set that up regardless of what it is. So this, for Denise and I, we did a giveaway. We said, click here and you're entered. And then this would respond right away. Say, hey, first name, you're in the giveaway. Great, you're in, you know. But you can use this for so many things. And once they're on your list, then you can start sending them. Every time we have a promotion, we can send to this list that's 900 people and say, hey, we have a BOGO. Do you want to learn more? Kind of thing.
The password for the Facebook recruiting was emeralds. Yeah. Cool. I was telling Brandon that I wanted to learn what he knows, and he was like, good luck. We'll see you in 10 years. There is so much to learn. And he's been doing it for so long that it becomes natural to him. So thank you, Brandon, for teaching us your wisdom.
You're welcome. I'm trying.
What else? Let's see.
Hey, I have one more question.
Yep, go ahead.
Once you auto reply, like if you set up that response with the ManyChat or whatever, after they comment yes, and you say, great, what part of Grand Rapids are you from? Then they reply and you're on your list, then that is just up to you to message them like normally.
Right, yeah. That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want it to sound like a bot for the whole time, you know?
No, for sure. Yeah.
I do have scripts posted, like scripts in my Facebook Messenger. So I'll be at soccer practice and, or driving, which I don't recommend, but let's be honest. And someone will message and I'll be able to pick the message that I want. Like, how does it work? And then I can give the the couple sentence answer that we've already added to our messenger. So even though I'm actually doing it, we do have a lot of saved scripts that I then can.
And
yeah.
So you just have those in your notes and copy paste, or do
no?
you
See, if you look.
Can you see my screen here, Becky?
Yeah. Go put your thing again.
Here, go to choose a saved reply, and then you can actually manage your replies here, and then you can have all sorts of stuff saved. So.
What?
You can even make it personalized, like, hey, so-and-so, how are you? Did you hear about the new promotion? And then save it. And so then what you can do is just say, choose a save reply. And if you know which one it is, you can say, usually it pulls it up, but
I just press it. I just look for it.
Put it in, and then it just grabs it, even puts their first name in there.
What, is that on your computer? You have to do that first? Or you
I think you can do it from your phone, but I'm not positive. But yeah, you just want to set them up beforehand.
Okay.
Or whatever frequently asked questions you have.
But it's only on your fan page, business page.
Yep.
Oh, what?
It's only.
So it's through the fan page. It's through your business page. Oh yeah. So once you set that up, it's through there.
So it's not your personal page. It's through your fan page.
So you're messaging through your.
Yes.
How do you switch your messenger to that?
You just have to. Oh, but you know what? You do have to have a messenger app for your fan page on your phone, don't you, Brandon?
Well, you can get Pages Manager is what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. Pages Manager allows you to.
App. Yeah. And it'll give you notifications.
Like I can't just switch to it on my regular messenger? Like I have.
I don't think so. I think you have to use Pages Manager.
I think you still might get a notification when you get a message, but you want to have Pages Manager to make sure you get everything.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
edit those things and stuff. Yeah.
You can add, you can filter your message box, like put a note on people to remember where they were. Yeah. Cool. And make sure I didn't miss any of the questions. Brandon, is there any sort of copywriting, networking, or marketing like information that they like? Where can they continue to learn about this?
That's a good question. I don't know. Specifically for network marketing, I don't know. I follow digitalmarketer.com. I think it's worth it. That's like $50 a month to follow all their new stuff. I like, who's the Facebook guy that I follow all the time? Yeah, I don't know. What I knew.
What was the book I just read? It was like, I'll teach you how to write better. Something like that. I did talk about it on one of the trainings we recently did. But any questions for Brandon? And then I've got 2 things about follow-up that I think make a huge difference in whether or not you're sealing the deal. And so I'll get started on mine. I mean, obviously, I feel like you guys hear from me all of the time. I don't feel like I have anything like, that's not true. I have 2 things that are the separators, okay? And the reason is because, I need to be the host again. Can you please make me the host? Brandon, do you know how to do that? Find me. Okay. Find me in the participants box.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So 2 things. They may or may not surprise you. But the first one is it's all about the relationship. So we want to build trust. Like, that's the thing. And you guys, because I've been really wanting to learn more about the copywriting stuff, I've paid for things too this past year to like learn how to be smart myself. And I can tell you the things that they're teaching us in these paid arenas are things that we've already been doing. So it's relationship. It's responding back to every single like and comment and asking them questions, and then not sending a link blindly, but really getting to know them. The biggest thing as well is to connect with them on Facebook, liking and commenting and showing up on their feed, because no matter what you're selling, whether you're a personal trainer wanting to build a fitness online coaching business, or you're a networks distributor, if you only message people when you want something, that's not a relationship. So you do want to show up on their news feed more than just a, hey, we have a BOGO, or hey, did you want to sign up yet? You know, you do want to build a friendship, at least where they are interested, you know, you're showing interest in them. So ask questions. That's why when people say, what should I say? I don't have a spiel that I say. I just ask them questions and get to know them, because whatever they say, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, you're going to be so good at this. Like, oh my gosh, you're going to be perfect. Oh my gosh. So again, it's building the relationship. That's going to separate you from somebody else. They're going to pick you over somebody else because they like, know, and trust you, which means your Facebook profile needs to be fun, engaging. Think about your hobbies, like show that stuff. But then also randomly show your products, your business, and your experiences. The second thing is, I think, what made us go Black Diamond. We casted so much vision for years, focused years, and created massive momentum on our team. People follow people who know where they're going. So here's the deal. You don't necessarily want to be marketing. I want you to go on a 90-day challenge. I think a better way to market is, I'm going on a 90-day challenge. Watch me transform, because people want to watch people who are moving, making progress, doing something. You know, if you knew your friend was going on a cross-country vacation, you would be watching their Facebook page to see what state they're in and what are they experiencing, and did they get to the Grand Canyon yet? And oh my goodness. So you know, an idea is for you to go on your own journey and be loud about that, whether it's weight loss, whether it's a gratitude challenge, and you're consistently posting about that. I mean, I always say knitting, like as a hobby, because my mom is a like crocheter and she finds knitting friends. But the biggest thing for her, I say, even if you're going to knit a quilt, show it on Facebook, show the progress, show the excitement, like give people a reason to come back to you. And then the second thing about vision is they like the biggest thing, again, when you're messaging people and connecting with those leads, is casting that vision for them. They're going to be interested in your journey, but they need to know that they can have it too. So I think one of the key words that I say all the time is, you are going to be awesome at this. It's like this is not a gray issue. This is black and white. When I brought this to you, I said, there's two things that separate me. I almost said, you probably know this. This is probably not even going to be helpful. But no. I want to cast vision that, you know what I mean? Like the way you speak really does matter. So when you're talking to your leads, you're saying exactly that. This company is debt-free and is in front of a hot trend. Like you are going to love it. You are going to experience success. You are going to love our training. You are going to love our community. You are going to fit right in. This is you're casting that vision, and your whatever objections they have can be drowned by the vision that you're casting. So I think because of the relationship, when you cast vision, they trust you, and that's why they sign up. I'm going to let that sink in a minute. Because of the relationship, they trust you. You're casting vision. You're telling them they can achieve the goals, and you're going to walk beside them. And that is why they sign up, because the fear is going to be real for everyone. It's just a part of it, but it's the vision that drowns it out. So when I'm messaging people, I'm not saying, I'm just following up with you again. I'm just want to connect with you. I say, hey girl, you ready? Hey girl, oh my gosh, I keep thinking about you. And then I'm constantly doing voice messages because I'm also driving a lot. So I'm doing voice messages, and I think that really makes a big difference. And it's so funny. I was on a training yesterday for a paid membership group that I'm in, and they do a call once a month. And she said, I'll do a voice message while I'm walking to my car. And I'll say, hey girl, I'm just walking to my car, but I just wanted to let you know X, Y, and Z. This is the answer to your question. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And to be honest, that's what Brandon told me 10 years ago. It's not about being uber professional. It's about you being uber friendly. And so even if your kids are in the background, or even if it's, oh my gosh, like, I've been blowing up today. Sorry, it's been so crazy, but I wanted to get back to you. You're being normal, and it's humanizing you, and they know and trust you more. So relationship, and then those who cast the most vision win. Meaning you're going back through your list consistently, and you're saying, oh, I keep thinking about you. I know you'd be so good at this. Or, oh my gosh, when are you going to join my team? And you know what I mean? Like you're just consistently casting that vision for them, because the vision and that hope is what they're going to grab a hold of, and that's what's going to make them say yes. Brandon, any thoughts on that?
Nope, you nailed it, honey.
I have actually wrote a message and then deleted some words, like just. If you see just in your message, you delete it. Even if you say I a lot in your messages, delete those I's and turn them to U's. Like you want it to be about the person. And it is a numbers game. So at the end of the day, if you're feeling like you're staring at the same 5 leads, get new leads. I mean, we've all been there, right? When we stare at them and you're like, you ready yet? You ready yet? You ready yet? And we need new leads. So you always want to have leads coming through. So you've always got people closing. So you've always got people training.
Yeah, the best part about this whole thing, doing just these local mom ads, is you can teach someone who has no warm market whatsoever just to have 10 leads a day, because they will get 10 likes a day on that ad just for $1. And so they'll always have hope. And that's a big thing.
Did you do a quick example on a keto ad? Like what you'd say for keto?
I'd have to look that up. I don't remember what we did exactly. We basically said we'll teach you gosh, I can't even remember, but it was to drive people to the keto group.
Uh-huh.
So it's basically like, we'll give you keto advice and fitness tips and all that stuff for free. Just join our group for free and give a link to the group.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Do you ever message people who like your ads?
I would.
You do.
Depending on how many you have. If you have several hundred, I don't have the ability, but depending on who, how many you have, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, do we or should we? Do we? No, not typically. But should we? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Because I know people have a lot of success with that, but it's a lot of work to keep up with. So it depends on how much time you have, I guess, and what your budget is.
Yeah, because what would you say if you would? Like, hi, like I saw you just liked my ad. Is there any chance this could interest you or something? Sorry for my English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like, oh my gosh, thanks for the love on my post. Have you ever thought about making extra money from home before?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Again, like 2 sentences and in a question.
Okay.
Deb is wondering, do we use Mighty Chat for likes or just those who comment? Is that what you mean? Likes or messages? Deb, you can unmute. I don't know what your question means now.
Oh, so ManyChat is basically just for responding to messages. So the only way they get tied back into ManyChat is if they comment. Comment or click on a link, like when I showed that growth tool and I said, here's a messenger URL, whatever. If they click on that, that would trigger that too. But not likes. It won't work that way.
So one thing that you do, Brandon, is you'll do several ads at the same time and then see what one's working the best.
Wait, say that again?
One thing, is this true? Do you do several ads at the same time and then see what one's working the best?
Yeah, so I showed you guys something that I know works across all markets that's real easy, but there are some tools within the Facebook suite that allow you to test the headlines, test the text, test the images, which is what I do to come up with something that works well. I can actually show you something here real quick. Let me see. Oh, I'm not the host, so I can't do it. There's something called dynamic split testing when you set up your ads. See if I can find it.
I just made you the host again if you want to be.
Okay, cool. I'll see if I can find it.
Well, it's been an hour, you guys. We're almost done. I just want to pick Brandon's brain more.
Yeah, it might take a minute to find. Anyway, it's called dynamic split testing, and it's a checkbox. And what you do is it'll let you pick like 5 different descriptions for the text, and 5 different like headlines, 5 different images, all that stuff that you want to test, and it'll rotate through them and find the best performing option. So you can do that. Just know that it's there. And if you have questions, you can always message me.
Yep. Shauna says, Greg always tells his team not to say, I'm just checking in with you. Yeah, exactly. It is. I mean, it does make a difference to, what you say, the words you say. If you sound wishy-washy, if you sound gray, if you sound, then people aren't gonna, they need like and because they're fearful, if you can imagine a pendulum, because they're fearful, they need like overarching confidence so that they can be swung. It reminds me, and one of the reasons why I developed this skill is when I was working in mental health and I was working with depressed clients, and I had seen people get better. And I had seen, so I had seen the other side essentially. And so I was able with full confidence to say, you are going to be okay. You are going to move through this. And I said that with confidence, boldly. I wasn't like, hopefully you get better someday. I'm rooting for you. You know what I mean? It was like, you're going to get better. You're going to get out of debt. You're going to be presidential. You're going to love your life again. It's like you have to be way on the other side to help swing people back in the middle. So So the words that you say when you're messaging, the words that you say when you're talking to people, the words that you say in your message really does make a difference, because you want to have that boldness to make them say, okay, I believe you. I'm still scared, but okay. I'll put all of the links that Brandon put in the chat and the recruiting page and the password in the email with the recording, so that way you guys all have it. Any other thoughts or questions? Another thing that I try to do real quick too is, if I feel like I have a lot to say, or I'm not in a good space. Like, I just had someone text me a little bit ago and she said, I'm interested in your business. And I said, awesome. When can I call you? Because sometimes it's just easier when I'm on the phone or like driving, or, I just want to have a 10-minute conversation with somebody than be going back and forth. So sometimes that's a little bit easier as well. But again, it's confidence. Like, all right, let's do it. Let's get on the phone. So, Deb, you're so funny. You won it. You won this Zoom. I'm glad you opened your emails for me. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions that are lingering? If you do, just reach out to us. Let us know. I certainly don't know everything, but I've hung around Brandon enough to know some things. And if there's things I don't know, then I'll ask him. But the other thing, too, is you can certainly search everything on YouTube. Like, if you want to know how to create a Facebook ad, YouTube it. There's just, like, that's how we've learned is learning, is like just searching it on Google or YouTube and trying to find tutorials and stuff. So, it's all learnable skills. And once you learn it, you can test it and only get better.
Is there a concern with, like, I know this is such a silly question because we're not saturated, but like in like doing the like local moms calling all whatever, what if they see like my face and your face, like, right? Is that going to happen, or is Facebook better at that? I guess that's a branding question, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it depends on where you're targeting.
Okay.
Because not people are going to target
it's
Kitchener.
So big. No, I wouldn't worry at all. No, it's so big.
Okay.
Like, we ran a local mom ad in Caledonia, which has like 20,000 people, for like 6 months. Ran the same ad, and they got the same engagement for like 6 months, and it was just us. In Caledonia, it's like there's nobody here. It's
okay.
farms. So
yeah, just
don't worry about that at all.
Yeah, because our team, well, like with Barb, she's face to face, so we have a lot of like local distributors too. So that's what more I was thinking about, but not everybody.
So the other thing is, you don't have to run it in your hometown.
Oh, true.
Like,
yeah,
you can run it anywhere. You can just pick a town.
Like
Puerto Rico, looking for Puerto Rico moms.
Yeah. Say you're coming there soon, that kind of thing.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
And you can do it around events too. So go to the corporate calendar, and then you're like, oh my gosh, how convenient. There's a meeting coming up in 3 weeks. I would love for you to get there. And if you're going, of course, that's even better, but you can certainly do it even if you're not necessarily going. So it definitely is strategy. This business is learnable, it's duplicatable, it's fun, but it isn't intentional. It's not just throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks. It really is creating your marketing strategy and then going for it consistently enough so you can really see results. One thing I would say is that some people will do one and then say, oh, I didn't get anything from it. And the biggest thing is you have to do it more than once, and you have to stay consistent, and you have to learn what works for you. And I guess just don't give up too early. Who's John Bloomer?
So he's like, if you want to learn like advanced Facebook stuff, you have to go to johnbloomer.com. He does a lot of stuff. It's pretty much all paid now, but it's still good if you want to learn.
Cool. All right. Well, what would be a good, decent budget to start with? Like $10 a day, $30 for a month? What would be a good, where you know you can actually get some traction, but you're not spending an arm and a leg?
I would say start with a minimum. Start with $30 for a month. See how the ad does. If it's not doing that great and you're not getting like at least a lead per day and then a bunch of comments and a bunch of likes and stuff like that on top of it, then either up your budget or tweak your ad. Because you should be able to get quite a bit of interaction for that, even for $1. You're welcome.
It's, you know, it can be a fun game to tweak. It's a little bit addicting. You're like, oh, someone liked my thing. Oh, you know. Would you recommend running an ad for a week or a month?
So what I would really recommend is running like 3 different ad sets. So you would run like you would run 3 to Grand Rapids, Michigan, right? One would be for 20 to 30, one would be to 30 to 40 years old, one would be 40 to 50, and each one would have something a little bit different or maybe a different picture. And you would run those for a few days, see which one performs the best, pause the other 2, and then create 2 more. Like, you would always be testing. I don't always do that because it's a lot of work, but if I were to recommend like a best strategy, that would be it. You just always test against everything else. And so it could just be a day, it could be, a week, whatever. But you're always running ads because then you always have leads, and it should be cheap enough where you can afford it, Everyone can afford $1 a day if you're in this business because you're running auto ship,
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll see some of you this weekend. Heading into Toronto. Tomorrow I fly in at 4 and I'm going straight to dinner. So I'm excited for that. And then Eileen, I'm coming to Montreal and I'll be in a French meeting all day Saturday. So that will be really fun. And then Dallas, yes, Shauna next week. And Becky, you're coming to Dallas too? Awesome. So we'll have our team lunch in Dallas. If you have not gotten a ticket yet, please do so we can RSVP because we're getting some corporate people stopping by. So I'd really love to have the private room, but we need 30 people minimum. And right now only 16 have registered. So make sure your teams all know. And we'll try to continue to be loud about that. But I'm excited for Canada. It reminds me I have to find my passport. And then we'll be in Dallas. So, all right. Well, we'll get the recording out. Thank you to Brandon for your time and your wisdom and for 10 years of learning a skill that you can use to now bless all of us too. And thank you for you guys for being on and being patient with us for getting this on the schedule. And we will get the recording out as soon as possible. So, bye.
Thanks, you guys.